Sir, regarding this event, not just Muslim leaders, but religious leaders from different religions were called upon. Everybody sat here, shared the room, and everybody was listening to what Dr. Ali Isa said. So, what do you make out from this event?
Yeah, this event was very good. The Dr. Ali was spoken the very relevant topic, harmony within the among the religious, right? So for that, we all the religious leader come together should come together, should sit and have dialogue, and make decision that the what should we message to the audience or to the public, to the human society, that dialogue should be there.
Do you think India should, further initiate such discussions and invite people so that they can, hold sit together and hold talks about religion and religious tolerance in India?
Yes, not only India should invite to others, but the other countries should also invite the Indians leaders, spiritual leaders, gurus, to discuss the topic on the harmony, how the harmony can spread all over the world.
So, what's your good name?
Venerable Nanda.
डॉक्टर अली ईसा ने स्पीच दी तो उन्होंने अपनी स्पीच में ये कहा कि रिलीजियस लीडर्स जो है इस्लामिक प्रीचर्स और किसी भी रिलीजन के जो लीडर्स या स्पिरिचुअल लीडर्स है उनको एक साथ आना है और जो एक्सट्रीमिस्ट आइडियोलॉजी है उसको ख़त्म करने की कोशिश करनी है। तो क्या टेक है आपका इस बात?
देखो, ये सही बात है कि जब तक हम जैसे ये सारे सेमिनार होते हैं या इस तरीके के प्रोग्राम होते हैं, हम स्पीचेस दे देते हैं, लेकिन हमें इन जो भी हमारे स्टेटमेंट होते हैं हमें उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए रूट लेवल पर आना होगा। हमें यूथ के बीच में जाना होगा, क्योंकि अगर हम कोई भी पॉलिसीज़ लेकर आते हैं तो जब तक यूथ इन्वॉल्व नहीं होगा, हम उसको कहते हैं कि उसे सक्सेसफुल नहीं कर सकते, उसको किसी भी डिसीज़न को और किसी भी पॉलिसीज़ को। तो जो भी स्टेटमेंट दिया है डॉक्टर ईसा ने, बस अब हमें ज़रूरत है कि हम सभी यूथ को आकर उसे रूट लेवल पर उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है।
How do you look up to this and what is the significance of this very event?
Uh, First, I would like to thanks to him, His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Abdul Karim Al Isa Sahab, the way he expressed his feelings about our country, and the word he said, "I salute the Indian Constitution, I salute the Indian democracy." I would like to again thanks to him, and this is the message to the world actually. That we should understand our responsibility, and especially the religious leaders and dharam guru should understand their responsibility. They should come out from their institution and take care of their society. They did not misguided by the extremist people, by the radical forces, and whatever course and the literature served to the youth, it should be verified by the government, each and every government, not to the India, each and every government, because youth is totally misguided by the extremist people. The social media is used by these elements, and whatever speech he delivered today, this is the right message to the world. Now we should come united to fight against the terrorism, against the extremism, and religious leaders should come together and sit together and start their dialogue, because there is a lack of communication between the community, between the religious leaders, between the religion. So we should remove this lack of communication and start new dialogue and start new journey for the peace. Because India is always giving the message of peace, unity, communal harmony, and universal brotherhood.
India invited people from Saudi Arabia to talk on things like religious tolerance and few other things. Do you think in such difficult times it was necessary for India to call on to people from Saudi Arabia, especially General Secretary for the Muslim World League, Dr. Al Isa himself came to this stage, talked about communal harmony and brotherhood. What do you make out of this?
It was extremely important given how things are going in India in terms of communal harmony. And coming it from a Muslim, worldwide Muslim leader, this is a significant message for even Muslims in India, and even for those Hindus who sometimes see as opposites, see both religions as opposite, and that there is no it is not possible to have communal harmony. So I think it's there could not have been a better time for him to be here and deliver this message of peace and harmony between communities.
What do you think about it, and what is the significance of this very prestigious event?
Well, you have asked me two questions. One is a specific one on how one should combat the widespread dissemination of negative data, negative impressions, negative information about world's religions. And I think what he suggested was the right course of action, that we should respond to it with positive information, dialogue, and producing literature which produces harmony among religions rather than discord. Yeah. And the significance of this event, I think, is actually, well, I should rephrase that. This is a very significant event because I have never heard such a lecture from a Muslim divine or scholar. I am in the academia, so I have heard such speeches from professors like Professor Nasser, very well-known professor of Islam, and we have conversations like this with our colleagues. But I had never in the past heard a minister of the Saudi government speak in these terms. So I was delighted to be here, and I feel uplifted by participating in the event.
He saw India as the source of global harmony. That is far more important. In fact, this narrative, it should have been very natural. It could not be built in India for political reasons. To build this narrative, the biggest problem is politics. And that is being distorted by creating false narratives that minorities are in problem, they are discriminated, they are oppressed. You know, this is not only affecting the political image of India, it is affecting the dharmic image of India, the philosophic image of India. I think what he mentioned today, that India teaches harmony, that is far more important than his praising the government or policies. That is incidental.
So do you think government has a role to play, and do you think government can combat such extremist ideology through literature or any other medium?
You see, even the government's capacity to fight any extremism or terrorism will be based on whether the public opinion is helping the government, is harming the government. But in India, public opinion is harming the government capacity to work. Because there is always something, if the person who is spreading this happens to be a minority, then if you take action, it is not seen as an action against a wrongdoing. It is taken as an action against a minority. This is what is hampering, because the public opinion built is now weighing on the government. That is where I think Dr. Alisa's proposition that India is the teacher of harmony, provider of harmony, that is far more important, because it transcends beyond the constitution of India, that the society is harmonious. So that is where the constitution itself is a product of the society and the philosophy. That is what is important.
This is a very significant moment both for India and Saudi Arabia. So what are the takeaways from the event, and how do you see this panning out?
It has been very fruitful and it's a very good initiative. So the main core point was dialogue between faith. That is the only solution. Of course, trying to understand each other, trying to understand the essential principles in every faith. Of course, it was a very, very promising event.
About the event, I want to know what is the significance of this event.
First of all, Dr. Al-Isa is such a huge personality for the world to come together as not only religious, but he's leading our own Islamic scholars and Islamic culture in the worldwide. First one is, I was invited in Riyadh by Alisa. And that time I seen the hospitality he has given for Hindu and India. So it is our duty to give him same hospitality and love, because you can hear by his speech that how much love he has for our country and our scholars. So for me or my religion or my culture, it is very important nowadays in India, because his presence in India itself is a message to the world.
This is a very significant event for India as well as Saudi Arabia. Government is taking initiatives to combat extremism. How do you look up to this?
No, the apart and but the speech what he made is really wonderful. We never expect such a speech from we have different type of mind that they have different type of thoughts. But what he says about the dialogues and all the things is really remarkable, and we respect that.
What about the initiative of government to combat such extremist thoughts? And they have invited people from Saudi Arabia to this platform. And then here in India, we have this diverse culture, diverse religion. Do you think this was the need of an hour?
Yeah, this is the really need of the hours, because all over the world the disputes are there, fightings are going on, and the dialogues are only the way to solve the problems. This is what we are expecting, and through that only in India also we have some confusions between the communities will be solved. That is what we thought.
Dr. Al Isa on this stage talked about initiatives that we collectively have to take. Especially he said Dharm gurus, spiritual leaders have a responsibility to combat extremist ideology. How do you look up to this?
Yeah, this is the time of crisis in the new emerging world order. If you look at the whole crisis in the West Asia, Central Asia, Ukraine, in South Asia, Pakistan, Afghanistan. So it is a time to wake up call for all the religious leaders to building the bridge for all the religious society, inter-religious society, especially common people, connect to people, because the future generations under a stake, who will lead this world and what is the directions. That's matter for today. So work together in academia and religious leader to further better and brightest society in the world.